All right, guys. Hello, everyone. I hope I'm audible. Please give me a yes in the chat if you're there. You can hear me. Okay. Please give me a yes in the chat, guys. If you can hear me, you're there. You can see my screen as well. Yes, I see yes. One yes. What about others, guys? Come on. Hit yes in the chat. Yes, yes, yes. That's great. That's great. Yep. That's great. That's great. Okay. So, hello all. I'm Abhay Khawas. I have over a 5 years experience on training and communicating and enjoying with all of you guys, right? So my main role is basically to not to just make you learn these new technologies in full stack development, okay? But my main aim is to create that spark inside you, to create that light inside you, okay, so that you can build anything. My end objective is always one thing, that you become a creator, okay? You become a creator, and that is the end goal for me, okay? So yes, so let's get started today with our webinar, okay? So first of all, how many of you here knows what is coding? Like, have you coded before? Have you used any programming language? If you have used a programming language before, please give me a yes in the chat. Also, yes dash whatever programming language you have used. Okay. If you have not used, just write a no. Whatever it is, I want to understand you guys better. Okay, before I can get started. Okay. If you have used a programming language, yes dash whatever programming language. No, if no. Okay. JavaScript, no coding experience at all. Not a problem. No. Okay, not a problem. No. Okay, I see. Yes, HTML, CSS. Okay, okay. No. Okay. Yes, JavaScript. Okay, no. What about others, guys? Come on. Please tell me if you okay, yes, JavaScript and React. That's great. That's great. Okay. Cool, cool. That's a great response, guys. Okay. Now try to understand. Here today, my main objective is to make you understand what is full stack development. Okay. And trust me, at the end of this session, you will know exactly what is full stack development. And currently, I can tell you, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. I can ensure you. It's not what you think. Yes, a bit of JavaScript, React, Django, but just the basics. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay. Okay, great, guys. One more thing. Before getting started, you will encounter questions. Okay. Feel free to post your questions on the chat anytime you like. I will respond to it. Okay. That's one thing I can tell you. Okay. Do not hold on your questions. The questions should be on the chat box. So whenever you have some questions on whatever I'm doing, you can post that on your chat box. I hope everybody is clear so far. Okay. Great. Let's get started. A little about me. I'm Abhay Kawas. I'm having more than 5 years of experience in this field. Um, I've been mentoring over 3,000 plus, aspiring full stack development and software development candidates or developers. My students are currently, working in big fours, a lot of good startups, US based startup, European startup, regional startup as well. Okay, they are creating their own things as well. Some of them wanted to pursue the whole full stack development because they wanted to be creating their own product. Okay, so there are various reasons why we all are here. Your reason might be different from others. Okay, but the main reason we are here is to learn full stack development, right? So yeah, let's get started. The aim is that I'm going to tell you what is full stack development, and like, how can we master it, and how can we understand it better. At the end of this session, you will know a lot. Okay, that's a promise. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, let's see a bigger picture. Okay, then I'm going to go deep dive into each of these. Okay, so the bigger picture is full stack development basically is mixture of a lot of things. Okay, full stack development is a mixture of a lot of things. Okay, now it's a mixture of front end, back end, database, and deployment. Okay, these are the few things that you can see in the screen. Okay, so full stack development in 2025 transcends traditional website building. Of course, it's currently about engineering platforms that seamlessly integrate across diverse devices and screens, and even voice interfaces that I'm going to give examples of. Okay, we'll delve into what full stack for what full stack details entails, its growing significance, and how you can master its complexities to craft highly scalable production web ready applications. Now, what that means is basically in 2025, full stack development is not about just websites. It's not just about web apps. It's not. Okay, how many of you knows about Tesla, that car, the automated car, or any company, any brand who makes, cars, automated cars? Yes, I see one yes. How many of you know? Other, please guys, please participate. I'm talking about, I know Tesla. Great. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yep. Okay. That's great. That's great. So what does Tesla do? Tesla makes these cars which can drive automatically, correct? Now, there is a back end, and there also there is a front end, right? I'll tell you how. The car itself is the front end, okay? And the back end is the algorithm running behind. Okay, so everywhere you look, you will find a front end and back end. And I'm going to give you live examples also. Don't worry about it, what I mean. Okay, so it's not, just don't be limited. I'm saying just don't be limited on um, one thing. Okay, I'm not sure how many of you knows about Amazon's Alexa. Amazon's Alexa. Give me yes in the chat. Amazon Alexa. Have you heard about that? Yes, I see yes. No, no. Okay, no. No, no problem. I'll tell you what it is. No, yes. Okay, it's a mixed response. So Amazon Alexa is basically a device. Only in movies? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, no problem. I'll tell you. Amazon Alexa is basically a device which you can say Alexa, and it basically listens to you. And then you can tell the command. Okay, Alexa, what's the time? It will tell you the time. Alexa, what's this? Or maybe if you are using an Android phone, you will have Google, right? You can just click on that mic button and just say, hey, what's the temperature like today? And it will give you the temperature, whatever is, the temperature there in your city or something. Okay. So yeah, in that case, I hope everybody understand what I'm saying. Okay. You are giving voice, you are saying something, and then the device is responding back. The front end is the device, the device's front end is what? Um, um, the voice part, right? And the screen part where you can see. So like, if you're using iPhone, you can say, hey Siri. So it will listen to you. Okay. So, and you can ask anything. So that is also a front end. Okay. And the back end is basically who is telling you, like, so what happens is your whatever you say, it processes that. Okay. It converts into XML or something relevant. Okay. And then the backend basically it goes to the backend, and backend basically responds to your prompt. Okay. So here also we have front end and back end. So never ever limit yourself. It's not about web apps. It's about everything. Okay. It's about everything. I hope everybody is understanding. Violet from Kenya. Okay. So basically, yes, what consumer uses, what, yeah, exactly. Exactly. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. No problem. I think it will be, I will ask the team for that. No, don't worry about this. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's get started with this. Okay. So front end in general is the visible part of the application, or through which you through which the user interacts. Okay, through which the user interacts. Okay. Back end, the server side logic, basically. Basically, it's the business logic. I call it business logic, basically, which you cannot share with others. Okay, those kind of where you have to code the business logic, you will write that on backend. Okay, which will be powered by databases and APIs. What are APIs? I'm going to talk about it. Don't worry. Okay. So that's what backend is, where you write your business logic. So front end basically is just what user sees. Okay. Front end asks question to backend, and backend replies back to front end. Okay. So I will tell you all about it. Okay. For now, just know that front end is basically what user sees. Backend is basically the logic side, the where you write the business logic of the things. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Database is all about where you keep your data, right? But here, when I'm saying database, in my back of my mind, okay, it's not just storage for me. for a developer, it's not just a storage, it's the security, it's a lot of things. Okay. So for me, it's not just database, because either I can write, see, if I have data, I can write it in, I can keep it in my computer. I cannot keep it in a database. I want to keep it in my computer. Okay. I can keep it in my computer. You can keep it in your computer. What the thing which database provides you is security, scalability, and a lot of things. Okay. That's why we use dedicated database. Okay. So we'll talk about that as well. Okay. This is a bigger picture that we are seeing right now. Then we have deployment. Okay. You have made your front end, you have made your back end, you have made your database. Everything is working fine. Now what's the next part? Deploy it to the internet. Correct? So yeah, that is the bigger picture of full stack development. Okay. It might sound easy. It is easy. In a lot of case, when you learn, the learning curve might take a time. But again, overall, if you are dedicated enough, you can easily learn everything here. Okay. Great. Okay, let's go next. Let's see what's next. I think the first part we will be seeing is front end development. Now, let's get deep dive into it. Okay. I hope everybody knows about websites like YouTube, Wikipedia, Amazon, whatever, right? Everybody, yes, give me yes, no. Everybody uses these kind of websites. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Let's go to those websites. I'm gonna stop my sharing. I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 minute. Let's go. Okay, everybody can see my screen. Give me yes in the chat, please. I've opened my browser. Let's go see some practical things. Okay. It's just too weird to be in the slides all the time, right? Okay. Let's say, let's go to Wikipedia. Okay. So Wikipedia, here, let's say I write car. Okay. Now car. Okay. Now this is just an example. Okay. I'm just taking an example. Okay. This can be applied everywhere. Now this is front end. What you see is front end. That's what I told you, right? Let's deep dive and understand what's happening. Okay. So there are multiple things. There are the content, this text that you see, car, and the whole thing about car, the image of car. These are contents, correct? So these contents, we call it, all the contents, we call it HTML. It's done by HTML. Okay. Everybody clear? Contents is done by HTML. Okay. Now you see another thing that you see is these colors, like this is blue color. Okay. Then there is the Wikipedia image, and like everything has a proper color to it. Not only colors and fonts and stuff. See, styling or CSS is about styling. Okay. So all the colors, all the fonts is basically done by CSS. But there one more thing CSS does very nicely, that if you see here, it is all, the layout is very good. Okay, what I mean by layout is very good, let me just explain that. The layout is very good means, if you see at the top, okay, this is a this is the navigation bar. Then we have Wikipedia logo. Then we have search bar. They have thought about the layout, correct? Give me yes or no, guys. They have thought about the layout. Like this is the layout. They have thought about it before making it. Yes or no? Everybody. Yes. This layout is also built by CSS. It's not just style. It's not just colors, font stuff. Okay. CSS is also about layout, and it's the biggest part. For me, color and these all not are easy. Okay. The main thing I want you to learn is the layout part. Okay. See, if you see here, the layout is like this. Okay. This is like the content, like content bar, right? And this is the main content. Okay. Okay. Inside this main content, you see there is the car image. Okay. The whole layout has been thought very well. Okay. Even in the car image, like there is a small navigation bar over here, correct? There is a heading over here. So these are the layout. They have thought about the layout properly. So CSS does what? CSS thinks about all the font, all the basic stylings plus the layout. Okay. All the basic stylings like font, how big it should be, what should be the color, what should be this, that, whatever you can think about styling, plus the layout. Don't forget about the layout. So the biggest mistake is, people at first when they start, they forget about the layout. So don't forget about the layout. Layout is very important, and this will take the most of the time in CSS goes to layout, to be honest with, in my views. Okay. Third thing which makes the website alive is JavaScript. Okay, which is basically actions. Okay, actions like, for example, let me just uh, delete, clear all drawings, just close this. Action is basically like, for example, small. Okay, if I click on small, see, everything became small. If I click on large, everything became large. Correct? Like, if I click on a button, it does something, some action. Correct, guys? Yes, no? Give me yes or a no, guys, here. So if I click on this button, it does something. That's action. Okay. These kind of things are done by whom? JavaScript. Okay. Like wide, right? Standard, dark mode. See, it all turned to dark mode. Okay. Automatic, light, or whatever. Like these kind of things are done by JavaScript. Okay. So I hope everybody is now clear. What is the role of HTML? HTML is for content. Okay, I'm writing in the chat also if you want. HTML for content. Okay, it can be image, it can be text, it can be whatever. Okay. CSS is for basic styling, basic styling plus layout. Okay. I'm writing. I'm just giving it. I'm just speaking and writing right now. Okay, that's why you cannot see it. You will see it. JavaScript, basically action. I'm just gonna write action. Okay. I hope everybody can see my chat now. HTML for content, CSS for basic styling, plus layout, JavaScript for action. Okay. Everybody clear so far? Yeah. Yes. No. Oh, no. Okay. My chat is not visible. Okay, I'm gonna give again. Not sure why it is not visible. Okay, it is visible. I see yes, mostly not visible. Okay. Okay, don't worry. I'm just going to do one thing. I'm going to write here. Okay, you can, if not, just see this. Is this visible? Yes. Okay. Just whoever can, you want it from the chat can get it from the chat. Whoever is not can take a screenshot of this. Okay. Cool. Cool. Can take a screenshot of this. You can take mobile phone, take a photo of this, or take a screenshot from your laptop, whatever it is you want. Okay. Cool, guys. So let's get ahead. Okay. I'm going to show you a few more exciting things. Let's continue. Okay. So now just right click on your any web app. Okay. Then click go to inspect. Okay. Go to inspect. What inspect does is it basically tells you, all the, see, these are HTML. See, it's like written here. Everybody can see, right? Let me just zoom in a bit. No, if I zoom in, it zooms in there. I hope everybody can see this because I cannot zoom in that inspect. Okay. I cannot zoom in the inspect. Okay. I'm so sorry about that, but that's not in my control. Okay. So I hope everybody can see that this is doc type HTML. That means this is the HTML doc. So if I hover over something, like, see, if I hover over this, if I hover over anything, okay, it's going to basically show me everything. So for example, do one thing, one exercise for you, all of you, not right now, just see me right now. You can do it later on. Okay. Okay. I'm going to start inspect again. So to start inspect, it's very easy. Right click and click on inspect. Okay. Right click anywhere in your screen and click on inspect. You will see something like this. Okay. Everybody. Yeah. Now next part is, let's do this. Okay. So click on this. Okay. You see this arrow thing, right? With dot 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 borders. Everybody sees this arrow thing with dot 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 borders. Give me yes in the chat, please. Everybody can see this part where my mouse is. Yes. Yes. Okay. Just click on that. Okay. Just click on that. It will turn to blue or some color. Okay. And then when you go over your with your mouse anywhere, it will just highlight everything. Okay. Don't worry about it. So let's say click on this car. Okay. Click on this car. Okay. Now let's say, see here, it's showing img. This is HTML. Okay. This is the content of the car. So this is the image. Okay. Image equals to source. This is the source of the image. Okay. This link, Wikipedia, this Toyota Corolla is the source of the image. Okay. This is the source of the image. source of the image. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Let's get an image. Okay. Let's say Apple. Okay. Images. Let's go to images. Let me just take a user Creative Commons. Okay. Let me take an Apple's picture. Like for example, these. Okay. I'm gonna do one thing. I'm gonna take this picture. Let me do it. Then I'm gonna explain. Okay. I'm gonna do copy image address. It's not copy image. It's copy image address. Okay. I'm gonna come here. In the source, I'm going to change something. Okay. In this source, I'm going to change something. Okay. So let me do that for you. I'm gonna change this source. Okay. Okay. Everybody can see the car image is gone. Is it? Can everybody see this? The car image is gone. Yes. Okay. It's not exactly gone. It is there. I just wanted to show you that if I want to change something, if I want to inspect something, I can come. This is for inspection. So that's why it is called inspect. Okay. I can inspect some bugs. I can inspect anything. Okay. Um, so this is HTML. Okay. I can change the content. I can add a content. I can make this on my own. Okay. Again, this does not mean it actually changed. If I refresh my screen, the car will come again. Okay. It is changed just for me for that moment. Okay. Now, basically, I wanted to show that yes, this is also a website which is built by some developer, which has HTML. This is the HTML, right? And this is the CSS. If you see, this is the CSS. Okay. Let's do one thing. Okay. Let's say the width here. If you see, there is an image width, right? Okay. Let's say the width is let's give a bit bigger width. Okay, it's currently 290 px. Px means pixels. Okay, don't worry about what is pixels exactly. I'm going to explain it after some time, but not right now. This is not the good time. Okay, so I'm going to, let's say, change it. Okay, I think I'm not able to wait. Let me see if I'm able to change it. Yeah, I think so. It's not letting me edit this one. Okay, give me 1 minute. Let me give a width here. Okay, now if you see, I gave a width of 100 px. The car image actually shrank, right? It became smaller, right? So this is CSS. Okay, that's what I was talking about. Second thing, the first thing was the content, which is this HTML part. Second thing is the CSS, the style part, where you can, now you have the content. With HTML you have the content. With CSS you can make the width bigger, smaller, change the font, change the color, change the background, change the layout. That's the most important part. Okay, I hope everybody understand. Give me a yes, thumbs up, or yes, or anything if you understood so far the meaning of HTML and CSS. Okay, clear, clear, clear. Yes, yes. Okay, that's good. Good, good, great, guys, great. Now, third thing that I was talking about was JavaScript. So this is HTML, this is CSS. But if you see here, you will see tabs. Like we are currently in Elements tab. Okay, we are currently where? We are in Elements tab. We have to go to Console tab. So this is where we can write our JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript is a programming language. Whereas HTML and CSS is not a programming language. HTML is a hypertext markup language. It's a markup language, and CSS is basically sort of a scripting. Okay, so console this JavaScript is full blown programming language, and you have to learn this like one by one. You have to learn all the concepts of programming when you do JavaScript basically. Okay, simplest concept is to print something. To print something, you write console.log. Console.log means I want to print something. Okay, let's say I want to print 5, so I can just write 5 and press enter, and it'll be 5. Okay, so basically a programming language does a lot of things. It prints, it has conditions, it has looping, it has functions, it has a lot of things. Okay, I cannot cover that on like one session. That's not possible. Okay, but know one thing, JavaScript is a programming language which does what? Which dynamically changes the HTML. Okay, how? I was showing that here. Like if I click on small, it all became small, everything became small, right? If I click on large, everything is becoming large without even changing HTML. Like by code, I am changing HTML by clicking this button. Please understand. Please understand. When I changed this car image, I did inspect, I removed that from the code, correct? I removed that from the code, from the base code. But here, when I'm clicking on small and I'm clicking on large, this whole thing is changing. The font is changing from small to large, large to small, without changing the code base, without me changing the code base. That's the power of JavaScript. Everybody understands? I don't need to touch the code base to change the code base. With JavaScript, I can write small functionalities which can change the HTML without touching the code, without user being in the code. Is it clear what I'm saying? Give me yes, no, guys. No, it does not change the code base. Code base remains the same. It's dynamic. So if you refresh, it will go away. But yeah, if you have a database, if you want to store the changes, yes, you can do that as well. I will repeat. Sure. No problem. Clear, clear, clear. Okay. 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 So I'm going to repeat once because I think so. Basically, what I'm saying is I changed this car image to an Apple image, correct? How? I did right click. I go inspect. Okay. I basically changed this image, correct? This is the code of the image, right? I changed the code of the image. Okay. That's how I can change the HTML. Okay. But what JavaScript does, I don't have to change the code itself. So JavaScript will change the code for me. So when I click on small, JavaScript changed the HTML code for me and make the font size small. When I clicked on large, JavaScript change the code for me. I don't have to change it. Okay, this is what JavaScript does. Okay, it can change the HTML and CSS dynamically. Okay, give actions to HTML, CSS. JavaScript are persistent? No, JavaScript is not persistent, but you can make it persistent using local storage or some database. Okay. That's a great question. JavaScript is powerful. Yes, it is super powerful. You will see how, because it even extends to backend. JavaScript even extends to backend. I will tell you after a while. Okay. Yeah, yeah. If I refresh, image will become the same way. See, if I refresh, image will be the same way. I'm not changing anything. I'm not changing the database. I'm changing my view. That's all. Okay, guys. So I hope HTML, CSS, JavaScript is done. Okay. Now, once you master HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you can call yourself a front-end engineer. Okay. But that was a case maybe 15 years from 15 years before now, 15, 20 years even. Okay. But it's not the case right now. Okay. So what's the case right now? Let me just stop sharing once. Let me share once more. Give me 1 minute. But it has all changed. Okay, it has all changed. Let me just share. Okay, it has all changed with React. Okay, now see, ultimately everything converts to HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, but you know what happened was JavaScript was becoming overwhelming for developers. Okay, for a lot of reasons, it did not have a lot of things perfectly. Okay, we had to make everything from scratch, and like a lot of code bases were messing up. Okay, then React came. Okay, React is basically a library built upon JavaScript, so it's not something different. It is built upon JavaScript. Okay, so don't worry about like it being very different thing. It's not a different thing. It's built upon JavaScript. I hope everybody understand. Okay, it's built upon JavaScript, so it's not different. It's just that here a lot of features came, like states came. Okay, components came. You can reuse the components. You can, and when you can reuse, you can scale it. Okay, what I mean by reuse, let's say, I'm gonna give you example. Everybody knows about navigation bar, nav bar. You know, at the top there is a nav bar, home, menu, about, contact. At the top, every website has this kind of a nav bar, right? Home, menu, about, contact, login, sign up. At the top there is this bar, correct? Right? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I see a lot of yes. Everybody give me yes in the chat if you know about this navigation bar that I'm talking about. Home, about, contact, login, sign up. At the top there is a lot of buttons, correct? In a lot of websites. Now, if you think about it, that website, if you go anywhere in that website, navigation bar remains the same. Yes or no? If you go anywhere, let's say from home, I go to about, but the navigation bar shows me home, about, contact, login, sign up. I go to login. Still, it shows me same thing. So all the pages shows you the same thing. Correct? Correct? True. So with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, what happened was we had to code this individually for each page. Okay? With HTML, CSS, JavaScript, we had to code the navigation bar individually for each page. But with React, we made component once and reused it. Okay? With React, we made a component and we reused it. Is there a combined name for the three? No, yeah, the front end development, you can say. So if without this front end, like this is front end development. If you ask me a simple definition, I would of front end development, I will say HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay. Okay, guys. So yeah. So I was saying, talking about this, right? So you saw that. So with HTML, with just HTML, CSS, JavaScript, I have to like in each page, I have to go, I have to mention the nav bar, like build the nav bar in each page. Okay. But here, yes, in React, what happens is we can make it like a component. Okay. Not only that, there is states. Like, there are temporary states that we can make. Okay. Sort of a non-persistent database. If you refresh, it will go away. But throughout the website, if you don't, click on the reload button, it will be there. So we have those kind of states as well. We have components as well. We have, we have a lot of scalability there because of components and states, right? Then we have in future you will learn about new concepts like Redux. So there are a lot of state management tools and a lot of things that made our development journey very easy and scalable at the same time. Okay. So that's why React.js is truly a masterpiece that we will be learning. Okay. So I hope everybody understood why we are using React.js. If we have, see, try to understand. Ultimately, even in React.js, everything comes down to HTML, CSS, JavaScript. When React.js compiles in the web, okay, everything comes down to HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Yes, it is a library. Okay, built on top of JavaScript. Okay, what is it? Okay, great question. So basically what happens is with JavaScript, we can make so small functionalities. Okay, with JavaScript, we can make what? Small functionalities, small functions. Okay. So what happened, what we did was we made a lot of functionalities and we combined it all once. That is called a library. In short, in a very nutshell manner, I cannot like tell you exactly how it is built right now because we have to show you a lot of things. But in a nutshell manner that in JavaScript we were making a lot of functions and a lot of things for React, and then we we made it a package. Okay, and then React was born, basically something like that. Okay, i hope I hope it is clear. Okay, so it is using JavaScript. The main point is this: it is using JavaScript. That's why I'm calling it JavaScript's library. Okay, it is using JavaScript for most of the works. Okay, so but still, please try to understand this. Even if you are using React.js, ultimately everything comes down to HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, this will boil down to HTML, CSS, JavaScript. When you put it on the server, they will convert it to HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, you mean in React? Yes, you can say that. Yes, that's correct. That's absolutely correct. Okay. Mostly JavaScript does the whole thing. So I told you, right? JavaScript can change HTML and CSS. So this React is only connected to JavaScript and JavaScript does everything for you. Oh, you don't see others comments? That's weird. You should. Not sure why. Maybe some error is going on your side. You cannot see full chat. That's weird. Okay. I'm not sure why that is happening, but you should not be facing this issue. Yeah, don't worry. If you have any questions, just ask me, okay? Okay. Don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry about it, guys. Okay? Just post your questions, okay? Don't worry about it, okay? I'm not sure why that is happening, but yeah, don't worry about that. Okay, so now what happened is after some time, like React was doing great, okay? Listen to the story. So React was doing great. With React, we could build anything we want, okay? But React was SPA, single page, should can only build single page application. But we can overcome it. By a lot of things we can overcome and make multi-page applications, and we do make multi-page applications with React. But React was built to make single page application, but we make multiple multi-page application with it. Okay. Now, after some time, everything was going great. Okay. But after some time, on top of React, one more thing was built. It was Next.js. Okay. On top of React, Next.js was built. Okay. Now, Next.js was even more better. Okay. I'll tell you why. With Next.js, you can build your front end and back end both. Yeah. So with React.js, you can only make the UI. Okay. You can only make, as so far I was just talking about making the UI. Okay. With React.js, I'm again repeating myself. You can only make the UI. Obviously, like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, whatever those can do, React can also do that even better. Okay. React can do it better. Okay. That was the thing. But with Next.js, something different happened. Okay. Next.js offered something called server-side rendering. What is server-side rendering? Is basically the rendering which happens in server. What is server? I'm going to tell you when I go to backend. Okay. What is UI? UI is what you see. UI is user interface. UI is what you see. Okay. Like for example, if you go to Amazon, you see some search bar, you see that everything, like whatever you see in your Amazon website is UI for you. Okay. Great question, guys. Again, any questions should be in the chat, as I told you before we started, right? So that is very good. Okay, you are doing great. Okay. Now, Next.js does both, builds backend and the front end both. Okay, because it offers something called server-side rendering. Okay. Now, how this works? What is server-side rendering? Server-side rendering is something which happens in server. What is server? That I'm going to tell you next. Okay, but it's a better version of React, you can say that. But basically, whatever we do in React, we can do it in Next.js. Whatever we do in React, we can do it in Next.js. Plus, we can also build backend in Next.js. I hope everybody is clear. Okay. So these are current front-end development trends that is going into play, React and Next.js. Again, ultimately in front-end development, everything boils down to HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Very simple. Yes, these .js libraries are publicly accessible. Even yes, they are. They are. You are right. Okay, and feel free to ask any questions, guys. Okay, I will. So the question was, are these libraries which I'm talking about, React and everything, is it publicly available? Okay, so it is publicly available. These are open source libraries. Okay, these are open source, meaning uh, you can change their code base. I mean, you can change the React's code base. I'm not talking about using React. I'm talking about changing the React itself. You can do that because they're open source. They're what? They're open source. I'm again repeating myself. Okay. And even okay, one thing that I wanted to tell you is basically, I'm not texting in the chat right now. I'm not texting in the chat right now. Whatever I will do, I will show you in the screen. Okay, so that everybody can see. Okay, guys. Cool. Now listen to me properly now. When I say open source, try to understand what is open source. So let's say I made a software. Okay. I made a software. Okay. I made a web app, a software or something. Okay. And what I did, I posted it on something called GitHub and I made it open source. Okay. Open source means it's free for you to use. It's free for any company or any brand to use. Okay. And this is called open source. So React and Next is also open source. Okay. We only use React. Try to understand what I'm saying. We only use React. We don't change React, but we can. We can change the code base of React if we want. Okay, but that's out of the point. The point is we will use React. Okay, whatever I'm talking about using the React, not changing React. Okay, but yes, The question was, is it publicly available? Yes, it is publicly available. Okay, you can find, just write React and you will find. That's all. React.js, just do that, you will find it. Okay. Or just specifically just write react.js space GitHub, you will find the code of React.js. Okay. If you want to explore maybe. Okay. Yes, UI UX is always a part of everything. Okay. We are talking about front end. Okay. UI UX is what you see. With React, we build what you see. So yes, it is part of that. Okay. Try to understand the words, guys. UI UX is nothing but what you see, right? With React, we build what you see. So we are building UI with React. Okay. So I hope everybody is clear so far. Okay. Now, let's say we have our website. Okay, we have built the front end. What is left? The left part is backend. Okay. Now, and this is my favorite part, by the way. If I had to choose any day, I will choose backend. Okay. I like writing logics. So yeah, let's go to backend development trends. Okay. Now in backend development trends, backend is basically what? Okay. Backend is basically the unseen engine. Okay. If you see, I have written here. Okay. Backend is nothing but an unseen engine of any robust application. Okay. Crucial for handling business logic, user authentication, data processing, seamless integration with database. Okay. This is the best definition I can give you if you want to understand backend. Okay. So backend is unseen engine of any robust application. Okay. Unseen because you cannot see it. Okay. Because you can feel it, you cannot see it. I'm gonna show you a real backend today. Okay. And I'm not gonna show you my backend. I'm gonna show you publicly available backend. Let's say from Wikipedia. Okay. I'm gonna show you Wikipedia's backend today. Okay. So be ready, guys. Try to understand what it is. Then I'm gonna show you that live. Like a restaurant. Okay, I'm gonna give that example of restaurant. Okay, that's a great example, by the way. So the backend is usually unseen engine of robust application, crucial for handling business logic, right? Business logic means the logic that you don't want to reveal, but you want to use it to give some service. Okay, like let's say you are basically, let's say you have made a dish. Okay, you don't want to tell what's the ingredient on the dish. Okay, it's your business secret. Okay, but you want to give that to your user to eat, correct? So here in this case, you are the kitchen, you are the back end. Okay, who is making that dish? I hope everybody understands what I'm saying, right? You don't want it to be publicly available. Okay, the how to make that dish, you don't want that. Okay, I'm gonna explain. So let's say okay, let me draw it. Let's go. Let me draw it. I know a lot of you might be confused, but let me draw this. Give me 1 minute. Okay, give me 1 minute, I'm sharing. Okay, I hope everybody can see my Chrome screen. Yes, no. Yes, great. Let's go. Okay, let's say this is a restaurant. Okay, there's a there are tables in the restaurant. There's table one. Let's say table one. There are more tables. I'm just making table one. Okay, table one, and there are chairs. Okay, this is a chair where you are sitting. You are the customer, let's say. Okay, and then This part is the kitchen. This is the kitchen. Okay. We have a waiter. Waiter is basically sort of the front end, let's say. Okay. Which shows you waiter has two things, two jobs. Waiter has two jobs. Okay. Showing you the menu, right? Show menu. So show menu. Correct? Okay. Showing menu is job of waiter. Also taking orders from you, right? Taking orders. I'm just writing TO. Okay, in short, taking orders. Everybody clear? TO means taking orders. Okay. So waiter has two jobs, showing you the menu, taking the orders. Correct? This is the kitchen. Correct? Now it's showing me the menu. Okay, or you the menu. Okay. You are choosing, hey, I want this, I want this, I want this. Okay. Let's say three dishes you chose. Okay. Now the waiter goes to the kitchen, give the order. Okay. Kitchen prepares everything. Okay. Kitchen prepares these three dishes. Okay. And after preparing these three dishes, it gives it to the waiter. Okay. And waiter gives it to you. Okay. You are the guy who will eat it. Correct. Now tell me, guys, let's say there is a dish you tasted and it was like very good. Okay. The taste of that dish was very good. Okay. Here, please try to understand backend is kitchen is the backend, waiter is the front end. Okay. Waiter basically asks for the kitchen to give it whatever it want. Okay. Is everything is created product ready? Yes, correct. For the consuming. Now let's say you loved a dish. Okay, you are sitting, you are the consumer. Okay, you loved a dish. Now if you go to kitchen somehow, like if you meet the chef or something, will they ever tell you how they built it? This is my question to you. Will they ever tell you how they built it, how they built that dish? No. Correct? No one will tell you how to build that dish because that's their trade secret. That's their business logic in this case. Correct. You got it. That's what I'm saying. That if you, this is the backend code, right? Whatever I write in backend, I will never tell it to the guy, right? That's why I'm writing here in backend. Otherwise, why would I even have a wall? Why would I? Like I would record myself and just show them, right? But I don't do that. I write my code in the backend. Correct? I hope everybody got my point, right, guys? Exactly. Mr. Krabs protect his recipe. That's correct. Yeah, if there is a condition of telling them, that's a different thing. Great. But that's the point, okay? The point is business logic should not be told. Okay. So that's why we write it in backend. Okay. So I hope everybody understood what is a backend. Okay. Now with the backend, there is one thing also more connected, which is storage. Now, whatever the chef needs, the chef will get it from the storage. Correct? The user will never give the ingredient to the chef, right? Inside of chef's kitchen, inside of the backend, or maybe outside of backend, there will be a storage. Correct? Maybe inside, maybe outside, I don't know where it is, but the chef, it's himself or herself, will go to the storage, bring whatever the raw material it needs, process the raw material, and make a good food, and then serve it. Correct, guys? Give me yes or no. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. Yes, correct. So storage is a part of, you can say backend, or it can be external as well, but only backend can contact the storage, or backend can access the storage or the database in this case. Yes, correct. Plates, fridge, stove, food, anything, you name it. Okay, correct. I exactly mean that it's basically finished goods, but the production process remains unsaid. Okay, you obviously, right? We will never say it. Okay, guys. So I hope everybody understands what's the backend. But now I'm gonna show you backend. Okay, how does backend looks like? Everybody excited about that? I'm gonna show you backend from Wikipedia. Okay, tell me, are you excited for this? Let me know. You want to see backend live? You have never seen it. I can. If you have like not coded backend before, obviously, let's go. Let's go. Okay. So let me just show you what is backend. Okay. So if I write C here, okay, I wrote C in the chat. Everybody can see, right? Let me just zoom into my website. Okay, it'll be more visible. Like, everybody can see it, right? Yeah. So if I write C, so it shows a lot of C's, right? It shows me C, copyright infringement, copyright law of United States, copyright China, California, Catholic Church, a lot of things when I write C, correct? Okay, if I write CA, it changed. Everything changed. Now it shows CA, California, Catholic Church, CAT, Cardi B, Caribbean, right? It shows these. But when I write R, it shows car, Cardi B, Caribbean, Carl, Cartoon Network, right? So it shows all these. So it's changing. Everybody can see that? Yes, no? Everybody understands what's happening here? Yes. Okay. Now let me know if you agree or not that these changes which is happening here, okay, these changes which is happening here is coming from a database. It's not coming randomly, right? It should have a database of these all things. Correct? Yes or no? It should be stored somewhere so that I can fetch it. It's not like random, correct? Yes, I see. Yes. Everybody agree? Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Now let me show you. Right click, inspect. And you see, there are a lot of tabs. Element, console we saw earlier. We will go to network tab this time. Okay. Now I'm going to go here in the search. I'm going to press back. And then I got something around here. Okay. Don't worry how am I getting it. Okay. Let me just show you the working of this thing. Okay. Let me check once. Yeah, this is it. Okay, let me go to a new tab and I'm pasting that link. So I'm telling you what I did. Okay, I go to network tab. I wrote something here and this appears title question mark q equals to something, correct? CA. This looks like the API which is being used. This is called an API, by the way. Okay, this is the API. Okay, this URL is basically the API. Okay, if I go here, I pasted the API here, and if you see, don't worry about what's this. Okay, do not worry about this. Okay, actually I can remove it. I think so. Yeah, I can. So just worry about the API. So this is the API, okay, of Wikipedia. This is the API of Wikipedia's backend. This was created like this is the part of backend. Okay, please try to understand. APIs are built on backend. This is an example of API. Now, what is an API? Okay, simply put, it does something. It performs some business logic. In this case, it performs the search business logic. Okay, so this API performs search business logic. Simply put, okay. Don't worry about any other definition for now. Okay, so please see this. Don't worry about a part till this much. Okay, do not worry about till this much. This is like common URL. Okay, so this is the API v1 version v1 means the version 1. This is the URL, like this is the URL. This will remain the same for all the time. Okay, slash search because we are dealing with the search functionality. Specifically, we are searching with title, and q is CA. Q equals to CA. Everybody see Q equals to CA means query equals to CA. We are searching CA. Okay, everybody understood what we are searching? Just see here. What are we searching? CA. So when I click on CA, you see CA, you see California, you see Catholic Church. Okay. Let's see if the data is there. CA, title, CA, title, California, title, Catholic Church. Exactly the same thing. Yes or no, guys? Is this data exactly the same thing? CA, California, Catholic Church, and we have 10 others as well. We have 10 others as well. Okay, we have 10 others. The last one is Catherine, Princess of Wales. Okay, let's see if it is correct. If you go ahead, yes, it is. See, Catherine, Princess of Wales. Okay, that's API. This is API. This is what's fetching. This is the data. Okay, okay, this is the data. Okay, this is what we are fetching. Like this is what we are getting, and this is basically we are just making the UI. This is the UI part. Okay, but this is the API of, this is the backend. Okay, part of backend of this one. Okay, so I hope everybody understands what I'm saying, right? It's truly duplicated. And not only that, please see one more thing. Here, even the thumbnail image is given. See, even the image, the data of image is given. See, this is the first image, right? See, if I open it a new tab, I just paste the image link. It's not opening here, maybe because we are not opening it correctly. Oh yeah, it's a part of that image. Okay, don't worry about it. It's getting from the backend. So let me just check once more. It should be opening. No, it's not. Okay, I think let me just do this much. Yeah, if you see, I can get the image as well. So the image is also coming from backend. And see one more thing, how structured it is. Okay, let's go first. See this data only. Only see this much data. ID is given, key is given, title is given. Then a lot of things are given. Description is given, why this is there. Thumbnail is given, there is no thumbnail. Okay. Now here where there is thumbnail, inside of it MIME type. MIME type means media type. What kind of like type it is? Is it an image? Is it a word? Is it a PDF? It is what? Okay. What is the width and height of it, duration of that, URL, everything, all the details are given here. Okay, so API gives you a lot of details. Okay, like this. Don't worry about how do you make that and all, but just worry about one thing, that this is what API means. Okay, this is what an API is. Okay, and this is powering this. Okay, so let's say I write cat, cat. Now you see cat, Catholic Church, Catherine, right? So if I write cat here, it will be the same exact thing. Okay, now you see the same exact thing. Cat, Catholic Church, Catherine. But one more thing. If you see at last, there is a limit equals 10. Everybody sees the limit? Yes, no. Everybody sees the limit? Yes or no? Limit equals 10. Yes. Yeah. This limit is 10 because if you see here, oh no, okay, let me show you here, guys. Everybody please see here at the top, limit equals 10. I hope everybody can see now. Okay, I saw one no. So that's why I want to show. Okay. Okay. This is the limit 10. Why, what is 10 here? If you count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there are 10. Okay. That is the limit. Now think about it. If I can increase the limit, okay, can I increase the limit? Let me just go there again. The answer is absolutely yes. I can increase. I can make it 100. Okay, now it is fetching hundreds. See, just see the number of data. I'm just scrolling, just doom scrolling, right? So this is the last one, category 5 cable. It's not even there. It's not even there here. Okay. So that's the API's capability. They are not using the capability to the fullest because they just want to show first 10. But we can use it as I want. Okay. I hope everybody is understanding what I'm trying to say here, right? This is a backend. Interesting. Okay. Now, one of you asked that if you want to proceed with which backend language, Python, Java, or Node.js. Okay. Again, that is debatable. Okay. But I'll tell you what, that if you have been doing front end in JavaScript, makes more sense to go to Node.js because you will use JavaScript. Okay. And JavaScript is one of the best languages right now. Okay. Let me share my PPT once more. There I've written all the things. Okay. So see those. Okay. I hope everybody can see my screen again, right? Give me yes in the chat, guys. Give me a yes in the chat. Yes. Yes. Everybody can see, right? Great. Great. Okay. So for options of how to do backend, my first option for you is Node.js plus Express. Okay. This is for ideal for who have done front end and want to go to backend, because you are using JavaScript. Okay. And JavaScript is going, it's actually right now most popular language, like, okay, after that Python and all comes. Okay. Or you can use Django as well. If you want to use Java, you can use that as well. But like Node.js currently makes more sense for those who are shifting from front end to back end. Okay. So that's one thing. A part of that, if you see, I've actually shown you something like this, right? This curly bracket data in the Wikipedia, there was curly brackets and there was some data. So this is example of an API. Okay. So I hope everybody understood what we do in backend. Now with front end plus backend, okay, we can make a full blown application. I hope everybody understands now. Now, next is database technologies. Let's talk about this. Try to understand. Database is, backbone of any application. Okay. It provides that persistence. You're talking about persisting data. Okay. Persisting data means which stays, which does not goes away. It persists. Okay. You want some data to persist there. Okay. You don't want to just, when you refresh, you don't want it to go away. Okay. With this database technologies, if you learn it, you will be able to persist your data. Now, try to understand what, why do we use a database? What is a database? Database essentially is a storage. Okay. Now, when I say it is a storage, you will think, hey, then can I keep it like I'm downloading a music in my mobile phone, or I'm downloading a PDF on my laptop, right? Is it like that? It is, right? You have the data on your laptop, correct? You have a PDF on your laptop. It is exactly like that. Okay, database is also same, but with that, it gives you a structure to keep that data. It gives you security to keep it secured. So even if you have a million data, you can easily fetch whatever you want. Okay. So that scalability, that structure, that schema, I like to call it a schema. Schema means how it is it shown to you. Okay. How is it presented? How is it aligned? Okay. So it gives you that structure, it gives you security, it gives you scalability. That's why we are using Mongo, not your computer storage. Okay. But yes, that doesn't mean that you cannot use a computer storage. You can use whatever you want. Don't limit yourself. Again, I'm saying, when I'm saying backend, don't limit yourself. When I'm saying front end, don't limit yourself. Okay. You know what? In backend, I was talking about backend, right? So anybody can tell me here in the chat if you know about it. This is a question. Where is the backend? I mean, we all know about, like, we have heard, we might have heard about servers, right? That backend is on a server. Okay. My good question will be, what is a server? Anybody wants to guess? Come on, guys, in the chat. It's just a guess. Okay. You can be wrong. You can be right. That doesn't matter. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Correct. Absolutely right. Server is nothing but a computer. Correct. Server is nothing but what? It's a general computer. Okay. You are basically making it accessible or publicly accessible. Okay. You are making it what? You are making it publicly accessible. Okay. For the users. Everybody understand? That's all. Okay. How are you making it publicly accessible? Now your question will be this, correct? That, hey, okay, I understand that a computer is can act as a server. Okay. This, my Mac can act as a server. But my question is, you tell me, how do I do it? How do I make it publicly accessible? Okay. So all of our computers has something called an IP address. Okay. Specifically public IP address. Okay. So every one of us will have a public IP address. Okay. Everyone. Okay. Whoever is connected to the internet here will have a public IP address. You can use that public IP address to basically make yourself public. Okay, and you can make your own computer a server. Okay, it's not very big thing, it's a very small thing. Okay, um I mean, in the sessions we do it all the time. Okay, just to test out some things. Of course, it is not very safe to continuously keep on doing it. Okay, that's why we buy servers. Okay, that's what I'm going to talk next about. Okay, that's why we buy or like rent out some servers. Okay, because it's not safe to use your computer, and I mean, you have to turn it on for like 24 hours. That's also not safe, right? So we don't use our computers as a server, but we can. Okay, being said that, we can. Okay, good guys. Okay, now talking about database, these are also hosted in a server like MongoDB. We have something called MongoDB Atlas. It is also hosted on a server. Okay, um, we can use it like a computer, and we can, like, fetch by some API calls. Okay, so MongoDB is a no SQL database. It has two words. Please understand. No SQL. What is SQL? Just for now, SQL is basically a sort of a database which have tables. Okay, so no SQL means no tables. Okay, it's basically in JSON format. JSON means the format that you just saw on Wikipedia page, curly brackets and the data. Have you seen that, right? Just now, the same kind of data is in MongoDB. Like MongoDB database also holds, like, can also work with same kind of data. Okay, the curly bracket data that you just saw on the API. Okay, it works on the same thing. Okay, then we have next we have PostgreSQL. Okay, this is SQL. Again, it is absolutely telling it that this is SQL. Okay, and this is one of the most powerful SQL. Okay, I really love to use it. So in a lot of places you might use a SQL, so a lot of places you might use no SQL. Now why and when to use what, you will understand once you do backend and all these. Then only I will I can like explain why to use and when to use what. Okay, but for now, just know this, these are the kind of things we have MongoDB, we have PostgreSQL, we have MySQL. Okay, these are some databases. We have more, we have a lot more actually. Okay, every month there is a new technology coming around. Okay, but these three are like very good. Okay, apart of that, we should know about version control and CI/CD pipelines. Okay. Here we have, I've mentioned four things. First is Git and GitHub. Okay, guys, in these sessions, right? In these sessions in Digital Regenesis, we focus on doing things. Okay, we focus on collaborating. What I mean by that is, let's say we have a lot of students, right? Then people are collaborating. Let's say someone is making a login feature, someone is making a sign up feature of a web app. So what you are doing is you are collaborating. What that is doing is that is building your profile. In the current market, resume does not works. Okay, even if you are like, let's say you might be looking for a job, or might not be looking for a job, that doesn't matter. Maybe you want to make something, you are an entrepreneur, even then. Okay, your profile, your resume doesn't matter. Okay, what matters is what have you worked on something or not. Okay, so in Digital Regenesis we try to create something called proof of work. Okay, we don't aim for just the lecture, and you will listen to a lecture, you go and that's all. That's not what we do. We try to concentrate on something called proof of work. Okay, you will make projects throughout the journey. Okay, that is the expectation, that's my expectation from you. Okay, that is my minimum expectation from you. You have to. Okay, you will make projects, like your own projects, maybe not what I'm doing in the sessions. Okay, you will do something else. Okay, that doesn't matter, it can be anything. Okay, proof of work is basically you are making applications, you were making applications for a long period of time continuously with me. Okay, when you joined, and then from then onwards you are making it continuously till the end. So in a span of few months, you built a proof of work. Okay, now how would people know that you built? For example, what my point is, how will people know that you coded today? What is today? Today is 6th October. How people will know that you coded on 6th October? How people will know that you coded on 7th October? Through GitHub. Okay, in the GitHub, we what we do is we upload our code, every, whenever we get time, we will just update our code on GitHub. So whatever you have written, let's say you are building a fintech app, okay, fintech finance technology app, okay, let's say. So every day you code something, you push it on GitHub. Every day you code something, you push it on GitHub. That builds a proof of work. Now, if you show me that, hey, in last 6 months, every day for 1 hour I was coding, or for 2 hours I was coding, I would believe more in you rather than your resume. Correct? Yes or no, guys? Tell me. Am I right about this? Yes. 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 Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Simfi, I will come to your question. Give me 1 minute. Okay. I'll tell you how do you do that. Okay. Proof is the yes, proof is the main thing. Okay. Proof of work is powerful, very powerful. Anything. Okay. So with Git and GitHub, we absolutely make sure we do that. Okay. So it's basically for development. Like this is what developers do in day to day. So whenever, let's say you are a developer in a company, right? You code it, you will push it to GitHub, okay, through Git. So basically, you basically keep updating your code, okay. Then basically we have CI/CD automations. This is for deployment purpose. Let's say uh, you have an app, okay. So you pushed on GitHub and automatically it is deployed automatically. So that is what CI/CD does for you. It checks everything for errors and stuff. Then it goes for the deployment. So that's automation. That automation part we can automate that, because that is the same thing we do again and again, right? So we can automate it using CI/CD automations. Okay. For maybe testing plus deployment can be automated through CI/CD automations. I'm not going to go very deep into it what it is, okay, but just know one thing: when you push your code on GitHub, at that time it will check for it will test it out properly, and it will deploy it, okay, redeploy it or update the website, okay. So basically that's what CI/CD automation is all about. Docker is basically like a container, okay. Okay, have you seen this? I'm not sure if you have seen that, um, or you have experienced it. uh, let's say there is a software, okay, you give it to your friend. It's the software is working on your computer, but it's not working on your friend's computer. Same software, same thing. It's working on your computer, but it's not working on the friend's computer. Have anybody heard about it or have some experience with it? Yes, yes, I see few yeses. Exactly. Okay. With Docker, we can solve it. Docker does what? Let's say you run that software on Docker. Okay. Docker gives you an environment. Okay. You run that software on Docker. You give that Docker image to your friend. Now it will 100% work on them because the environment is same. You understand what I'm saying, right? The environment is same. That's why it will 100% work on your friend's computer. Okay. Actually, you know what, the same problem happens to developer. Something which is working in my computer, some development thing which is working in my computer is not working in the other my friend's computer, because he might has some different version of some different things, some different software, different versions. Okay, for that reason it might not work on his or her computer. I can share my Docker image to him or her, then it will work. Okay, it will work flawlessly, so because the environment is the same. You understand? So you are not only giving the software but also your environment. You understand? You're not only giving the software but also the environment which you run your software in. Okay, that is what Docker is in a nutshell. Everybody understood? Yes, no? This is clear? Great, great. Okay. Finally, we have Jenkins and GitHub Actions. Again, it is also for automations and stuff. Okay, similar automation, running some workflows, something like that. Okay, for deploying, for testing, like similar to what CI/CD automation gives us. Okay, next, and I think it is very important. Now you built your whole thing. Next is deployment, right? You will deploy it. So we use for deploying, for hosting, right? We will use Vercel or EC2. Okay, this was the backend deployment, by the way. Vercel EC2 generally backend deployment. I mean, we can also deploy front end, but I love to use something called Netlify for React or HTML, CSS, whatever, for deploying those. Okay, I really love to use Netlify. So this is for hosting your Vercel and EC2. Okay, it can also host front end as well. So it's very good for that as well. Okay. Vercel is is really easy to handle. EC2 is a bit complicated, but again good. Okay. Second is basically you hosted it, right? What is the second thing? Second thing is, let's say in your GoDaddy or something, you bought a domain, correct? Like www.google.com. You bought it, correct? Now you have to connect your domain with your app. Is it? You're understanding, right? What I'm saying. Hosting is different thing. Connecting your domain to your hosted website is a different thing. Okay. For that, either you can like go to your GoDaddy and you can link it through there, or you can use something like in Vercel there is like direct linkage also. You can use that as well. Okay. So yeah, domain name system, you can link your domain to your thing. Okay, that is part of deployment. Third one is having S3 and Lambda. S3 is basically for storage. Okay. If you saw um, in any website, you will see images, right? Those images are hosted somewhere or like uploaded somewhere. Okay. Generally, a lot of websites use S3, and we will also learn what is S3. It is from AWS. We call it AWS S3. Okay. This is a storage bucket, so sort of a bucket where you can store your images, your videos, your files, and securely with API calls, you can fetch it. Okay. So basically, all in all, S3 is basically like a storage. Okay. And Lambda is like Vercel. Okay. Lambda is basically like Vercel. Okay. It gives you like serverless functions. Okay. Where you can run your APIs. So basically, Lambda is also for hosting. You can host your apps. Okay. On there. So Vercel, EC2, Lambda, you can host. You can connect like your domain to your thing, to your hosted app, right? With either Route 53. Route 53 is basically AWS product, but you can use directly your GoDaddy, right? I mean, wherever you have bought the domain, Namecheap, GoDaddy, whatever. Okay. So wherever you have bought the domain, you can connect it there only. Like it's very, very simple. You just have to, connect your IP address of this hosted thing. Okay. Hosted server. So I was talking about public IP, correct? So you have to connect the public IP with your domain, and it can happen on GoDaddy. Don't worry about that. So yeah, so that is how it is. Okay. Finally, we are in the final slide. Okay. Now, again, guys, my aim to for this whole session was to give you a good idea on what is full stack development, and I think I've given you that good idea. Okay. Okay. What I want from you is to don't have a ceiling for your imagination. Okay. About front end and back end. Okay. Front end can be a car. Back end is always back end. Back end is always in a server. Okay. Back end is like always in a server. Okay. Or maybe your local computer. Okay. Wherever it is. So back end can be everywhere. And front end can be anything. It can be your Alexa device, your speaker device, which you can talk to. It can be the car, it can be anything else. It can be satellites, right? It can be anything. Okay. So don't limit yourself. Full stack is huge. When I say huge, I literally mean it. Okay. And currently it's the era of AI. It has become even huge. So yeah, so everything is going crazy right now, right? And full stack is becoming bigger than ever. This is the best time to actually learn it. Okay. So yes, so keep on learning, guys. That's pretty much it from my side. I really hope that we all connected well. Okay. Yeah, that's all, guys. Thank you for so much for being here. I now next session will be taken care by our panelist. Okay. Tejas, if you want to take over, let me know. Um, I think I'm almost done here. And guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Okay. Please feel free to ask. There is no problem. Thank you. What are advantages of using TypeScript over JSX? So TypeScript, okay. So this is a question. This is a little advanced question, and that's a great question actually. So what are the advantages of using React TypeScript over JSX? Well, the biggest advantage that I find is I can have a structure, means I can say that this is an integer, this is a string. I can literally call it out. That's what it's for, right? So I think that is the biggest issue with JavaScript. I feel that in JavaScript, you know, nothing has a proper structure. Okay, with TypeScript it gives a good structure towards everything. You can call out everything, like this is an integer, this is a string, this is that, this is an object, right? And it helps a lot. What is the full meaning of DNS, domain name system? Like for example, google.com. Okay, let's say you bought google.com. Okay, you bought google.com in, like, let's say GoDaddy. Okay, you have google.com, right? So now you can connect your DNS with your server. Okay, guys. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it from my side. Uh, okay, okay, sure. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye.